Okay, thank you for coming. We will call the Coachella Valley Mosquito and Vector Control District Board of Trustees meeting on Tuesday, July 8th to order. Roll call, please, Mick.
President Pena,
Present.
Vice President Gitron,
Present.
Secretary Kuhn, Treasurer Figueroa, Trustee Down, Trustee Gardner, Trustee Larson, Trustee Ortiz,
Here.
Trustee Ross, Trustee Galette,
Here.
and Trustee Walker.
Present.
Thank you.
Do we need a motion to excuse Trustee Gardner? I'll entertain a motion to excuse. So move, Ben. Second. Motion, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Please join me in the pledge of allegiance. Ready?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Move on to proclamation of agenda. Any changes, corrections, or deletions from staff? Any from the board? Okay, I will move on to public comment. Make any public comment other than the written public comment that we did.
Anyone waiting for an opportunity.
Thank you. For the record, we receive written comment. Okay, we'll move on to our public hearing. Public hearing regarding resolution 2025-17 approving engineer report confirming diagram and assessment and ordering the levy of assessments for fiscal year 25-26 for the Coachella Valley Mosquito and Vector Control District, Mosquito Fire Ant Disease Control Assessment. And David, can we get that tonight report?
Good evening. Just a brief overview. So tonight, this is the public hearing for the continuation of the benefit assessment for fiscal year 2025-26, which funds the district mosquito, fire ant, vector control and disease prevention services and projects in the Coachella Valley. The notice of the public hearing was published in the Desert Sun on June the 23rd, 2025. The rate of the proposed assessment for fiscal year 25-26 is $14.39 per single family equivalent in Zone A and $7.19 in Zone B. This is the same rate as 24-25. The maximum rate the district can set is $27.13. At the June board meeting, the board approved resolution 2025-14. That resolution approved the intention to levy assessments for the fiscal year 25-26. It preliminary approves the engineer's report and providing for notice of hearing for the fire and the mosquito and fire ant disease control assessment, which is what we have tonight. So resolution 25-17 that approves the engineer's report and orders the levy of the assessment at the rate of $14.39. The financial impact of this is $2.4 million, which is 13% of the total revenue. And the recommendation is to accept and adopt resolution 2025-17.
Thank you. Any questions, staff? If not, I'll declare the public hearing open. Is there any public comment?
Have a public comment from Mr. Brad Anderson of Rancho Mirage. That's the only one.
Okay, thank you. That's any public comment. Okay, we'll close public comment. We'll close the public hearing. So we'll move on to deliberation, consideration, of the resolution. Any question? Not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve resolution 2025-17, the engineer's report.
Second. With the motion in second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimous. We'll move on to announcements, presentations, written communication. We have none. We'll move on to the consent calendar. I'll entertain a motion to adopt the consent calendar. So moved. Second. There's a motion in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Move on to our business session. Old business, we have one. You have two items. New business. First item of business is discussion and appointment confirmation of the ad hoc building committee and review the capital facility projects and timeline. Chair.
Yes, briefly, we are working on several capital projects that are coming to fruition this year, as you're probably aware of from the budgeting process. And they've been working on getting proposals and estimates by the end of August for quite a few of these projects. So they wanted to make sure or confirm our ad hoc building committee, which currently previously was Trustee Gardner, Turner, and Walker. We wanted to see if those trustees are still interested, and also make sure, since there is so many things going on, if there's any other trustees that were interested in serving on that committee.
Anybody like to serve on that committee and volunteer
What is it a meeting as needed?
as needed? It's ad hoc as well too, so.
Yeah, we're gonna be
We can
pushing,
do it virtually as well too, probably.
correct. And we're probably gonna be aiming to meet with the ad hoc building committee in late August, early September, to meet with that before the September board.
Volunteer? Okay. Got time again? So, we'll add Doug onto the committee so that gives us 4 in, correct? Already on it?
And Trustee Gardner, Turner, and Walker, so that would be the current committee makeup.
Anybody else want to volunteer?
And
We don't need to, you can have up, I will just wanted to see if anybody else wanted to volunteer. If you change your mind later on, you can always join. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to appoint those 3 individuals to the ad hoc committee.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion second to appoint those board members to the ad hoc building committee. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Okay, well, move on to new business item number 2, discussion and or approval to authorize the general manager to execute agreement with both architecture. David?
So one of the objectives of the strategic plan is 1.2 implement the sterile mosquito program. And at the May budget workshop, lab manager Jennifer Henke, she gave an overview of the plans for this objective, which include the construction of a new building for the insectary. And one of the first steps of this new building is to develop a feasibility study. Holt Architect, the firm that we're actually using for the boardroom and the operations building, they gave us a proposal not to exceed the 40,000 budget that we set aside for the feasibility study. And the proposal includes a preliminary design with 3 site floor plan conceptual options, modeling and renderings. The project will include cost estimates for each of the floor plan options. And then the feasibility study will be part of the needs assessment for the new building, and which will be brought back to the board in the future for approval to move ahead with the design and construction.
Questions, Stan?
I just have a question for the agenda, the staff report. Can we get the copy of the proposal sent to us? Just so that
Do you have a copy of this? I have a copy.
I don't need it right now, but I would like it to be attached just as like for transparency purposes and when we're approving one, because it's not on the agenda, but I can just comment.
Okay.
So that when it's like a proposal, so people, the public can actually see like the proposal, the $40,000. So
Okay. Just email them.
Thank you.
yeah, we can do it in the week that before.
Right. Any other questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Nice job, recommended.
The motion is for motion second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We'll move on to committee and trustee reports. I have no executive committee report at this time, so we'll move on to finance committee. Frank.
Yep, we met earlier this afternoon and we talked about pretty little. So the financials that are in the report for this month are up to May 30th. David and his, the team are working diligently to close out FY 25 in the June. So let me just open the spreadsheet here. So, get the graph here, we can talk about it. So the graph shows a $7 million operating cash flow fund balance. The total revenue for July 1 to May 31st of $12,658,678, minus the total expenses of $14,646,096, is a balance of $5,112,580. So the revenue show a positive budget to the actual variance of $502,000. And expenditure shows a positive variance of $775,000, giving an overall positive variance of $1,278,652. So for accounting purposes, the district is under budget, right? As long as the green line stays out of the shaded area, the district is within budget. And so looking at the projections for, we talked to David and the finance committee, the end of June 2025, right, for the new fiscal year will be a 3% under budget of what was originally budgeted, and we'll have a 4% over revenue. And so once everything is settled, we're hoping that we'll have a little bit over a $1 million surplus for this past fiscal year. So the district was in healthy condition, and so looking to see how we look into the future. And so that's kind of my update on there, giving some good news for the district and its finances at this time.
Questions?
What the trustee, the finance committee will have a September meeting to discuss budgets, projects that we're gonna be financing and working on in the next year, and then have by December a study session about where all the allocations are working within the district, especially the reserves and what those reserves look like. So hopefully we are ready to have a good study session so that trustees can really understand why we have like surplus here and a pocket of money here and what's the intended use and what we're looking to do with that as public funds in the district.
That also would kind of be like a mid-year review.
It would be like a mid-year review too, so you
perfect.
could see where everything is at. So we're hoping to do that in December meeting. Those are my comments.
Thanks. We'll move on to trustee comments, requests for future agenda items, travel, or staff. Anybody have anything?
I just have a positive comment.
Okay.
So in regards to the item we just kind of went over as information item, it's 7 bullet point semi-annual reports. Generally, this is comment positive for the team and everyone. I just get so impressed and for bragging about what we do outside people feel about the district dealing with this field and health. I think it's such a valuable piece of information that we have partnerships at times with the Navy because of what they do and people that they deploy throughout the world that they come to our lab and our scientists that are working out there and all the techs in the health and care of people that could be exposed to the type of things that we do. And to look at this, to see the University of California, Davis, UC Riverside, outside, and the School of Medicine and the USDA, it's pretty impressive that people understand those organizations we work with. So I think it would be good to see if the marketing team can incorporate that somewhere in our website or our publications. I think people realize the responsibilities and the collaborative partnership that we have. And it's more of a compliment, but I think that people know that the investments of funds and stuff we do at the people that are outside agency are investing in us to figure out the health challenges they want to pinpoint. And the team of the lab, it's pretty much state of the art in the investment. So that's my comment.
Great comments. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, now we'll move on to reports. Jeremy or General Manager report.
Yes, just a few items. Couple of things for regional partnerships. we recently, I think, completed now, getting 11 members of the Southern California Mosquito and Vector Control Committee to sign on as a mutual assistance agreement. The most recent one was Riverside County at the last Board of Supervisors meeting. So I'm happy that we got that squared away with our partners. The last time we went to this, we had 5 agencies. So this is kind of strengthening our alliance in the Southern region to assist each other at times in need, but also to make sure that we have a pathway recouping our resources or time spent helping out another agency. So I'm excited about that. Also recently I attended the Riverside LAFCO commission meeting, I think about a week ago. There was a business item proposing a review of all special districts and contemplating consolidation and also boundary changes. And as the president of the Riverside County Special District Association, I got a lot of feedback from a lot of folks around the county. So we worked alongside CSDA as a California Special District Association, issued a letter and also stood up for that. And I think the commission heard us. There is a municipal service review process that really looks at some of those things. And so I think the commission now is going to be looking at making sure that the municipal service review is answering the questions they want to see, and also already uses a tool that's already used to assess boundaries and services that districts do, not only for central district, but for cities as well. So at this point, happy with that outcome. And so our special districts. Also invited after that meeting, LAFCO commissioner and President Pena's colleague Steve Sanchez to tour the district. So he came out, we had a good tour and visit, and also kind of touch base on some of those items that came out that LAFCO. So I think that was a good meeting, and I know Commissioner Sanchez appreciates the district, and as we hung out pretty well, hanging out with our drones. So that was a good meeting. Field engagement, still doing some ride-alongs with our staff and with our operations and working through the whole team here. So I was able to drive that wonderful Argo for a bit down on the shoreline with some coaching from my vector control technicians, which I appreciated, and my mechanics appreciate the company getting broke it. That's no, I did not beat it, but no, it's a lot of work down there, and getting firsthand with the staff, and also just kind of touching base with them. It's been insightful and kind of checking on their job satisfaction. And also seeing where things, not just for operations, but all the teams, just to see where they're at. Partnership development. I spent a lot of time with one of the trustees from the Coachella Valley Resource Conservation District at last CSDA Ledge Day. And after that meeting, I knew Yvonne Franco, the general manager of that district, but I better understood what that district does. And I think there's an opportunity, hopefully, for some collaboration. They're really focused on conservation of water and keeping water, hopefully, in the ground. And we're definitely in the business of not having standing water. So I think there's some opportunities that we have as a nexus. So we had a meeting to talk about some of our agricultural sources and how we may be able to work with farmers to reduce some of that flooded irrigation land that will benefit both of our coastal patients. And then the last piece, I want to give kudos to David. He's been working really hard since, I'm not sure, he said October, on our new ClearGov platform for our fiscal budget that was adopted by the board in June. And I think we've almost, and I didn't want to say we, it's he, and then some support from other people. He's on the heavy lifting, but we should be going live with that next week. So we'll be sending a link to the board. You'll be able to access our fiscal year 25-26 budget. And I know David, and I definitely would like to hear any feedback the board has on that document and that interface, what you like, and also maybe be able to build on for next year. Again, thanks to David for working hard on that this year. And that is it.
Thank you. Any questions? Yeah. Okay, if not, we'll move on to item number 2. Gabriella?
Sure, this is on.
And while Gabby is getting set up, Gabby is filling in for Jennifer tonight. If you don't know Gabby, she's one of our excellent vector ecologists, which is one of our lead biologists, I would say, and also a supervisor. And Gabby's been at the district since before me, so it's great to have her here tonight and sharing about the risks we're facing here in the valley from mosquito-borne disease. Thanks, Gabby.
Thank you, Jeremy. All right, well, I don't need to introduce myself now, but thank you. Okay, so I will be giving the arbovirus update for the lab department. Okay, so the district's integrated vector management program prioritizes the surveillance of mosquito populations, removing breeding sites, controlling breeding sites, and also educating the public about mosquitoes, and also the work that the district is doing to protect public health. So in the lab, we monitor mosquito activity, we test mosquitoes for arboviruses, and we also evaluate the impact of the control products that we are using. So this information is shared within the departments, and this guides our control efforts. So the district's risk model includes 5 factors that determine the level of arbovirus transmission risk in the area. So those 5 factors are the virus-positive mosquito samples in the area, the abundance of vector mosquitoes, so the number of mosquitoes that can transmit virus, the average temperature for the past 2 weeks, the number of dead birds that have tested positive for virus, and the number of human people that have tested positive for virus as well. And so each of these factors is given a score from 1 to 5. 1 is considered low, 5 is considered high. And then the average is taken, and that will give us the risk level for a certain area. And we can do this on a weekly basis. So if the risk level is between 1 and 2.5, that means that we are in normal season. If the risk level is between 2.6 and 4, that means that we are at the emergency planning level. And if the risk level is from 4.1 to 5, then that means that we are seeing active transmission of a virus and we are in epidemic conditions, where we will respond by actively reducing the virus in that area. So this map shows the virus detections in the region for the year so far. So most of the detections have been in Tulare County, right around in here, primarily in Visalia. So as of July 3rd, they reported 294 West Nile virus positive mosquito pulls. And so this is for Tulare County. And recently, they also reported the first human case of West Nile virus disease in California. And to the east, in Arizona, Maricopa County, they have also reported, as of July 7th, 70 West Nile virus mosquito samples and 33 positive St. Louis encephalitis virus positive samples. So this is our district's virus activity for the year so far. We have detected 2 positive samples. On May 7th, we detected a West Nile virus positive sample from trap 54. That is shown in red on the map. And then on June 17th, we detected a St. Louis encephalitis virus positive sample from trap 533. That's shown in blue. And these 2 were detections from the east end of the valley, so in the rural areas. And if you take a look at the table on the right, at this time last year, we had already had 155 West Nile virus positive samples. So the current virus activity for the past 3 weeks, that's from June 16 to July 3rd, our most recent, that was from the previous slide that I had showed you, and that was for our St. Louis encephalitis virus positive sample that we detected, shown in blue. And so that we're off to a slow start, but who knows what's coming ahead. And so that is the current update for the arbovirus for the lab. Any questions or? Yes, yeah, every year is unique. So yeah, it's been off to a slow start, but we're ready. So mhm. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Gabriel. Okay. General Counsel.
I don't have anything at this time. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, no,
So I was gonna give a quick update on the operations side
Oh,
as
okay.
well, since
Yeah,
Gabby did a great job talking about the lab work. So I'm gonna carry on with my portion. So as Gabby mentioned, since there were a couple positive detected in June, part of our response plan with the virus detections is that we inform the public through the outreach, but also we post those disease warning signs in the general area. of the positive detection areas, as well as sending a team to conduct enhanced surveillance through the positive detection areas. Um, part of the work that we do is we go and check everything that we know it's existing, and also we look for potential sources that we know could be contributing to it. As Gabby mentioned, it's kind of hard to see, but the area down there in red is the detected area. The blue on the left slide is where the drone team was taking care of those areas. The team focused north of that, as you see the orange circles. That was more like in the residential area. We kind of expanded a little bit more of the 1 mile buffer. We typically stay within the 1 mile buffer, but we kind of extend a little bit more, being that we started seeing a little more sources outside of the buffer just to be in the safe side. On the other positive, it was detected somewhere in the middle of the crops. You can see on the right side of the image. Typically, those areas are not known to have a lot of breeding sources just because of the nature of the agricultural fields. We're looking more like Sorophora kind of mosquitoes, but we still enhance it. We still went to check it out. Luckily, the lab also expanded their trapping, collected more mosquitoes. No additional virus was detected. So therefore, there was no need to conduct any ground UV applications, whether aerial or ground. And went too far. In summary, the drone team conducted 72 acres worth of applications in response to these virus detections, and the team conducted about 24 treatments, treating about 5 acres, but it's just through a vast area. Small sources were found with about 49 pounds of product. So in general, that's kind of the work that we do when we find these detections. The team goes out and canvass the area in efforts with the drone team. We detect areas that the drone can take care of, and whatever the people can do, our staff can do through the ground on the known sources. And that's more or less what we did. And then I'll pass it on over to Robert, who can talk to us about the outreach efforts.
Good evening, everybody.
Thank you,
So
Jennifer and Bob.
during the same
This is
period,
Lee
we
Gordon,
had
Information Manager.
2 press releases in response to the positive mosquito samples. These releases were sent out to 55,300 individuals with a 55% open rate. So what this typically looks like is we upload it to our website, and within that site we have 4 groups that it sent out to. Those groups include partner agencies, news, and Valley residents. We are able to track how much of those individuals are opening our email, and that's what leads us to that 55% opening rate. We also at the same time post on social media, and this up here, that's what it looks like now for this year. Anytime there's a positive detection, we'll post to our social media, including Nextdoor, Facebook, and Instagram. With that, the biggest response that we have gotten is on Instagram. Typically with Reels, we have the last period, we had 23,000 views, and Nextdoor, we had 2,300 interactions for the one sent out on May 8th, and 142 interactions for June 18th. During this period too, we also had 1 request for an interview, and that happened on May 8th when we had the first positive West Nile sample. During the second release, we didn't have any media attention, at least not any requests for interviews. They do repost our press release in their sources. So we see more of that now, where they're just taking the story and republishing it on their news site. And that is all we have for response as far as outreach. Any questions?
Question?
Just one quick one. From the Spanish-speaking community throughout the valley, how does that happen?
So as far as a response,
Yeah, what you've been doing, because we've been doing a lot of improvements in the district and reaching out. So we're just curious how things are this
so as far as response, everything that we publish is in Spanish and English. We do target, especially when it happens out in Mecca, Oasis area, Thermal. With Nextdoor, we're able to publish in just that area. We do have a good partnership with Telemundo and Univision. So we do also send this out to them, and typically we'll get responses both from Telemundo and Univision. But like I mentioned, now they're most are just publishing their stories, not necessarily asking us for an interview. And it really just depends when we're sending that out and what else is going on in the news cycle that it gets picked up.
Thank
Say that again. It was with KSQ. They came to the district. Yeah, and typically they have newer reporters, and they're always eager to learn what we do here at the district. So we give them a tour, and they always leave with a lot of knowledge and excited to share it.
Thank you. Any other?
Yes, I just want to comment that 55% open rate is big. No, usually it goes around 20, 25, 55 is pretty good. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Okay. Nothing from general counsel. We'll move on to closed session. We do have two closed session items this evening. First is public employee performance evaluation pursuant to government code section 549-7, times general manager. And the second one is conference with labor negotiators pursuant to government code section 549-7.6. Agency designated representative is Chairman White and Coastal Moreno, and the employee organizations California School Employees Association. With that, we'll go into closed session.